Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's struggle is going to be trying to make the farm dump truck run. We've been having a fueling issue with it, so I'm going to change filters and see if we can get that straightened out. This is our farm dump truck. It's an old International Cargo Star. It's been well loved, but it's got a pretty new Cat 3208 engine in it and a decent Road Ranger transmission. Somebody converted it to a dump bed years ago, and we just use it for projects here on the farm and hauling rock for other small things that we might need to get done. These are the two fuel filters we need to change. There's the first filter, and then there's the second filter with the hand priming pump. I'm going to be swapping those out and try to make this thing run. All right, let's see if we can get this filter off of here. Oh, that sucker's on there tight. Let's get the big pair of channel locks after it. There we go. What kind of nastiness comes out of that thing. I'd say that one need to be changed. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a bunch of rust sitting on top of it. It's been a while since that one was changed. Let's get this new filter. We'll go ahead and put the date on it that it has gone into service. The odometer doesn't work on this truck, but it doesn't get used that much anyway, so. Alright, what is today? 19th of October. Alright, since a diesel is a closed system, doesn't run with air in it, it's a lot easier to go ahead and prime these filters before you put them on than it is to try to use the hand pump and fill the whole system. You'd be pumping on that thing for days. Okay, that's one down. Let's switch spots and go ahead and change the other one out. I went ahead and marked and refilled or filled this filter replacement. I figure y'all got it on the first one. You don't need to see me fill another filter. But looks like I replaced this one on the 17th of October 2015, and it's been sitting for a while. Hasn't been used a lot, and since we're building the house or trying to get a house started, I've been needing to use this thing, and it's been very hard to start. Of course, these 3208s are notorious for having fuel problems. Apparently they've got O-rings that go out on the throttle side. But pretty good running old truck. I've used it to haul a lot of scrap and cedar logs and gravel. And this truck does have a lift pump, but it's not very strong. It's not like a modern truck with a good lift pump. It'll do a little bit, but not a lot. All right, this is the hand prime pump. We're going to try to build some pressure and get past any air that may be in the system and see if we can get this thing to start. Hopefully that was enough. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire off. Probably going to take quite a bit of ether, I'm guessing. But we may get lucky. Try the hand primer again. Slow it down, anyway. Hey, feel pressure. Dang, hand primer is not in an easy spot to get to. at least I don't have to raise the cab to get to it. Well, now I guess we need to start cracking fuel lines. Well, now we're locked in place. I can work on it without the cab falling on me, hopefully. Had to go gather up some tools and get something to wash my hands. You probably noticed on one of my other videos, I spend a lot of time putting on and taking off gloves. Well, that's because working with fuels and constantly cleaning your hands, and I don't know, maybe something I got exposed to somewhere else. My hands have a tendency to split, crack, bleed, and chunks of skin come off. So I try to keep my hands clean, and again, not sponsored, just like DeWalt tools, but these hand cleaners, there's Joe's, and then there's another brand called Mule Wipes. You can usually find them at your local parts store. I carry these in my truck, and it's a way to get your hands clean without having soap and water. Pretty good thing to have. But anyway, we'll bring you in here close and take a look at what we're going to do. I need to crack an injector line or two and see if we're even getting fuel, and if not, try to figure out why not. So what we're going to be doing is cracking one or more of these injector lines. This is a 3208 V8 diesel, so there's going to be 8 injector lines, one for each cylinder, and we're going to see if we can get fuel out of at least one of these, and if not, keep cracking them and then crank the engine until we get past the air blockage and try to get this thing running. Let's crack a few more of these lines and see if we can get some more fuel flowing. Maybe get this thing running. Okay, one thing to check This is the fuel shut-off solenoid that shuts off fuel to the injector pump, and it also feeds the lift pump that you hear clicking in the background. So let's disconnect that and see if the solenoid is working. All right, shut off the injector pump. Let's see if it clicks that solenoid. Yeah, so the injector pump is getting fuel. So I guess next thing is let's crack some lines on the injection pump and see if we're getting fuel to the injection pump. We should be, because we got fuel out of a couple of the injectors on the engine, but there could be a air bubble in one of the lines, or more than one of the lines coming from the injector pump, that's stopping the fuel from flowing. Some of these are a real pain to get to. And I don't have any crowfoot wrenches out here. Well, that one's loose and I'm getting fuel out of it. Can we get any others loose? I don't know what the heck that is. Well, this dang wrench is too big. Alright, well, we got one loose. We can see if we're getting fuel with that. Okay, so we figured out our fuel solenoid right here was clicking, and we were getting power to it because it was letting the fuel pump flow. And we opened up the valve here, and we know that we were getting fuel flowing out the bottom. So next thing, we need to pull this off and make sure that even though the solenoid is working, the fuel shutoff inside the pump is moving. And even though this whole cab tips up, it's still not real easy to get in here and work on stuff. Okay, so there's the solenoid. The ground is the body. There's the power coming in. And when it's energized, that pulls back in, which then allows this flapper I'll show you here in a second to open and let fuel flow. And when you turn the power off, this spring pushes the plunger back out, which turns that valve off. The flapper valve or flapper for the fuel shutoff is down inside the injection pump. It's right here, and it should be spring loaded, so it's, if this is not in place, it should be in the up position, and it's not. It's sticking. See, if I pull on it a little bit, it comes right up. So it's like it's gummy. So we're gonna try spraying some lubricant in there and see if we can get it loosened up. Let's see if we can get a little lube down in there and maybe get this free I hope that the spring isn't broken. There should be a spring returning that, but I don't know how strong it's supposed to be. Of course, I don't see anything that looks like rust down in there either. Don't know where the spring might be. And you would think if there wasn't supposed to be a spring in there that solenoid would be magnetic. But it's not, unless maybe it magnetizes when it pulls in. So let's turn the key on and see what happens. Okay, since there's no ground, it's not going to pull in, but that's okay because I need to get my fingers on it anyway so it doesn't shoot. Yes, that is magnetic. Okay, so let's open this and see if this thing will start, and maybe it was just sticking. Okay, that wasn't good. I don't know why we just went to full throttle, but now we know what our fuel problem was. Now we seem to have another problem. All right, well, let's put this back on and see what that problem might be. Of course, it could just be that it's full of ether. But that was idling a little high. I think you can see something here. We're going to try this and hopefully this thing doesn't run away. Of course, I'm going to need to, well, pray it don't run away. Seems like that valve is still sticking. Off camera, I pulled the fuel shutoff solenoid off. It was a little rusty on the inside, which made the electromagnet a little weak, so it wasn't lifting the flapper, for lack of a better term, that is on the fuel shutoff. So cleaned that, put it back in, and it's working, but the engine is still wanting to run at wide open throttle, which indicates there's either a problem with the fuel rack or the governor is sticking. So the next thing is I've got to start tearing into that and see if I can clean it and get that fixed. Well, I started thinking that I really don't want to tear into this thing if I don't have to. So I thought we might give it, as AVE says, the old tappy tap tap. This housing right here is the governor housing on the back of that injector pump. And it's most likely that that's what's sticking on the thing, because I had it jammed wide open trying to get the fuel to flow, because I thought that it had just started sucking air for some reason, and the problem was in fact that solenoid not opening up the fuel into the injection pump. But now, since it's trying to run away and that throttle is stuck wide open, I'm going to try to tap that right there and see if we can maybe break it loose and get it back to functioning. And the thing is, we're not trying to break it, we're just trying to jar it to let it loose. Well, let's give it a try and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't run away again. Woo! I'll take it. That saved me from so much work having to tear into that thing. Thank you, AVE and the Magic Hammer. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today and helping me get that project done. Hopefully you learned something, or at least got a little entertainment out of it. We'll be doing some more projects like this, and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a good day.